I don't care what science says, this is my child. Really a second chance romance, so clearly him and that girlfriend ain't gonna be together too long. But Patrick, I don't know if I like him. It's dangerous when you're getting in relationships with people who are unhealed. You know, they're carrying their baggage and trauma, you carrying yours, and then Chad is a mess. Hello friends, and welcome to episode 1 of my TBR Takedown, which is a fun series where I read the books on my physical TBR. And today we are starting with a romance book. This is actually my first romance read of the year. I have finally just accepted that I am not a romance girly, but don't get it twisted. I love love, I love romance. I am more of a girl that likes a book that has a love story, but sometimes romance can just be a lot for me. I have to be in the mood. I started reading this book around my anniversary. I'm like, oh, it's my anniversary. It's around Valentine's Day. Like, let me go ahead and give it a go. And I just could not get into it physically. So I was like, let me just not. I ended up putting this down and picking up something else. But then I got my hands on an audio copy and I was able to fall in love with the book a lot faster listening to the beginning of the book. So I am almost 100 pages in and I like it so far. The name of this one is When I Think of You, and it is by Myah Ariel. I believe that's how you say the name. It was blurred by Kennedy Ryan. We love her, so we love that. So this one basically is following Kalia and Danny, and I love that it's going to be a second chance romance. I love second chance romance. I know most people don't, but I do because I feel like the romance moves a little bit faster. And I'm actually really enjoying the storyline so far. So chapter 1, it opens up and Kalia, she's actually a receptionist. I don't even know if that's her actual title, but basically her boss has her doing a whole bunch of tasks. So you like, is she the assistant, the receptionist, the errand girl? It's just crazy. So she was like listening to this audiobook, which I love when other books show up in books. I think that is so cute and so much fun. And it was just funny because it was like a book with like a spice scene, and so I just thought it opened up very fun. She seems very likable, very approachable. Danny ends up coming into her office for like a meeting, and then he actually offers Kalia a job. So that's basically the storyline. They used to go to college together and they both were in film, and Danny, he is a big movie producer now, or is he a producer or a director? Yeah, so he is a hotshot director, and Kalia's like, you know what, despite the complexities of how we ended and all of that, I think I might want to take him up on this job offer to achieve her goals and her dreams. And so it's so cute. You can tell that they have a chemistry, but they're not crossing any lines as of yet. Danny is in a relationship, Lily is second chance romance, so clearly him and that girlfriend ain't gonna be together too long, but at this point in the book they are still together. And I've just been enjoying getting to know Kalia. We get to know her best friend. I do like the relationship with her best friend, and I do really appreciate and I'm enjoying seeing the process of what they go through behind the scenes when a film is being created. I'm really enjoying that. And so yeah, I'm gonna keep on reading. I'm actually headed to work the next 45 minutes to an hour, so I'll probably sit here and read. Maybe I can knock out another 40-50 pages and then I'll give you guys another update. And yes, I'm using a receipt for a bookmark. It's fine. Okay, so it's so cute. Danny, he's actually biracial. I believe his mother's black and then his dad is white. The film that's being directed, it's actually inspired by his parents and their love story. Oh my God, that is so cute. She's talking about being in like the Jim Crow South and being in love with the dad. And I just think that is so cute. Like, oh my God, I think we might have a really good start to the reading vlog, and I absolutely love that. Stop. Oh my God, that was so cute. This book has like the cutest plot twist. His assistant spilled all the tea to Kalila about his relationship with Celine, okay? And of course I cannot share it with you guys because you'll be just as surprised as me. I just crossed over the 200 mark, so I'm getting ready to start chapter 24, which is page 214, and it has gotten so good. It is so cute. This is just such a nostalgic, feel-good read. They're like flashing back because I guess they might be each other's first love, so I think that is just so cute. There is a lot of mystery around what happened and why they broke up. We get some remnants, so we're not completely left in the dark, but we don't know the full scope of why they broke up. I love some of the side characters. I love his assistant. She has all the tea, okay? The book has so many nostalgic moments. I just love it. Like, there was a hopscotch moment. They were playing like hand games. I loved hand games when I was younger. Now they talking about my movie, Love and Basketball. That is one of my favorite movies. If you have not watched it, go ahead and please watch it. I Want to Be Your Man came on the Droppers playlist, which instantly evokes the iconic high school dance scene from Love and Basketball. If you know, you know. And it says that it's a film about a love that takes more than a few tries to get it right, which is so true. Never really summed it up in such a sentence, but that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's so much more, but that's a good sum up. And then it's just so cute. So this whole scene when they were talking about Love and Basketball, this is when they were flashing back to like the night of their first kiss, which was just so cute. Like, imagine your first kiss the day that you watch Love and Basketball. It does not get more romantic than that. So I just think it's so cute. They were just talking about love, and like, he has such a hard time, I don't want to say believing in love, because he does believe in love. For me, growing up with a front row view of what my parents had, I'd probably spend a lifetime looking and never find it. So for him, he's almost like nervous to fall in love because of what he's seen. He's had such a beautiful example, and he's like, wow, this is something special. He's like, I've seen infatuation, I felt infatuation, I felt love. But what my parents had, they had something special. And so he obviously wants that, but he's also afraid to have that. I love seeing that examined and explored from like a male POV. And I'm also really loving about his parents is that they were together in like the Jim Crow era. So clearly they were dealing with a lot of racism and hate about being together, and it didn't matter. They just loved each other so much. And so I love that although this is a romance book, we still are getting some contemporary themes where he's navigating stuff, she's navigating stuff, but then we're also getting like some Black history vibes. So I absolutely love that. It's just such a good palette cleanser. I've read a couple books lately that were a bit heavy, and so it's really nice to just tap into something that is nostalgic, fun, and cute, and feel good. And I am definitely here for the vibes that this book is giving. Public scandal. I did not see that coming. There's so many good little plot twists in this book. Like I told you, Miss Bella, the assistant, she had all the tea about Danny and his relationship with his girlfriend. There was some other little plot twists that happened, and now a public scandal? Honey, I did not see this mess coming. Too slap happy. It's Friday. I just got off work, and oh my god, stop. This book was so freaking cute. So first of all, this book should have had a playlist. There were some bangers mentioned. So you had My Cherie Amour by Stevie Wonder. There were some jams by Sade. There were songs mentioned from Love and Basketball. It was just so nostalgic. It was so yummy, so good. So this is a book about privilege. It is about loving when it is hard, being able to forgive, and putting yourself first. Ooh, putting yourself first. We love to see a self-love moment in a romance book. I love the pacing. I love movie and the music references. And I love that their journey was actually a little messy. You know, real love, true love. Sometimes it's not linear. It's not, you don't get unscathed, Sometimes there's a few scrapes and bumps along the way. It's just so much goodness. I really enjoyed this. Like, it wasn't a 5-star for me, but this was definitely like a 4.25. I do wish that it would have been dual POV. That was one thing I didn't like. But what I will say is that you get so much context about Danny from the side characters. The author, she did an amazing job of giving us his backstory and giving us his POV without us needing dual POV. So I absolutely loved that. I do remember seeing some reviews where some people, they feel very indifferent about the book. And at first I'm like, but why? You know, and then as I was reading some reviews, some people, they just didn't like Danny. Now, what I will say is he is not someone who feels like a boyfriend. He's not someone that you are instantly pulled to. There's nothing like overly exciting about him. So they started describing him, honey, but I'm like, oh, he kind of cute. Okay, Danny. But no, he almost felt a little bit weak at times, you know. A lot of women, they just want to see like a very masculine man, but he's actually the one that loses a parent. And so it's really sad. And he does speak to that in here, is that you just don't know how grief is going to like pretty much swallow you up. You don't know how it's going to affect you until you're in it, you know. And so I completely and totally understand, completely and totally. And so I didn't see him as weak. I did feel like he was very unhealed. And I do think that's dangerous when you're getting in relationships with people who are unhealed. You know, they're carrying their baggage and trauma, you carrying yours, and then Chad is a mess. That is why the second chance is important, and it matters because, yeah, that first time they definitely needed not to be together. There was a lot going on emotionally and just a level of immaturity. And so I love their journey. Cannot wait to read her new book that comes out. If she has some jams in that new book, I need a playlist. It does have discussion questions. It also has like recommended readings and viewing. It says watch Love Jones. Oh my God, I love that movie. 7 Days in June, love that book. Brown Sugar, I should watch that this weekend actually. Oh my God. And then there was this section in the back. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's called Behind the Book. So it talks about like the title and just the music. So much about Kalia and how she wrote her and how she was able to sit with this character and really bring her to life. And it says, I wanted Kalia to be sincere, guarded, and a little earnest. I wanted her witty, damaged, but still very warm. And most of all, I wanted her to feel real. And she nails it. Kalia is such a likable and lovable character. I want to leave you guys with her dedication. It was just so cute. I'm like, I like this book. It says, for ambitious Black girls who dare to live out their dreams in spite of those who said we couldn't. Then it goes on to say this book is for dreamers and grievers and people who've been made strong by leading heavy lives. For my mother. Oh my God, this is so good. I had such a good time reading this. It was such a good surprise. So the next read is starting off a bit heavy, okay? So I've been in the mood to read books about motherhood. I often find myself in the mood to read books about motherhood. I mean, I am a mother. And then I do like the exploration around, you know, different ways that you can mother a child. You know, you don't have to do that biologically. And then it's just kind of ingrained in us growing up to have children, you know, or want to have children or want to have like a family. No one ever tells you like that you don't have to be a mother, that is okay, you know. And so I'm not saying that I don't want to be a mother, because even though my kids are a lot sometimes, I love them. I do. And it's so funny because me and my sister and me and husband, we were talking about that. Like, even though we'll complain and like knowing everything that you know now, it's like, would I do this again? The answer is yes. I would have. Would have children. So that's how you know, like, I was just destined for this. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm just always interested to explore other perspectives and other scenarios and different ways to become a mother. And so I picked up Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. This is good. This is really good. I'm not even 50 pages in. It's giving me 4-star energy already. Like, minimum is going to be at least a 4-star. We have two ladies here, Catherine and Tess. So Catherine, she is married. She has a daughter named Rose. Rose is her miracle child who she conceived by way of IVF. She is married to Patrick. And then we have Tess. Tess is divorced. She's not like, you know, the happiest at her job. It seems like her spouse actually left her for someone else who was like having a baby. So hot mess. Like, Tess is dealing with a lot, and she also went through IVF and her treatment, it was unsuccessful. So she's going through a lot, you know. So I loved just getting to know each woman individually. But then the worst thing ever happens. Oh, the worst thing ever happens. It says, shortly after Rose's first birthday, Catherine and Tess get a call from the fertility clinic and their eggs were switched. The devastation that I felt. You get such visceral feelings while reading this book if you are a mother. Like I said, my children can be a lot. They can weigh on you mentally, emotionally, physically. They can be very demanding, very expensive, and all of that, but they are mine. These are my children, okay? And I cannot imagine being in a situation where I find out my child, the child that I've been raising, is not my biological child. what do you do with that? What am I gonna do with that? You know, it's like an impossible situation to be in. I know this is fictional, right? But my heart like breaks. Already it breaks. I paused reading just to go and look and see, like, is this based off something true? And I guess it was. Charlene, I don't know if it was one child or multiple children. They were conceived by IVF, and she was grappling with that herself. Like, is this my kid? And that's probably a normal thing coming into motherhood in a situation like that. But yeah, I was just like, how did this happen? This has been such an interesting read. I just came to this part where it was just so sad and it was so beautiful. Catherine is like, oh my God, when she found out the eggs have been switched and that Rose is not biologically hers, she felt so bad for Tess. She said she mourned the loss of my biological child. Imagine that, you know, like, wow. And then imagine being in Tess' POV. That was it for her. She has no more eggs. She cannot have children. You know, that's it for her, unless obviously she wants to foster or adopt. But in this particular book, in this scenario, this is it. And so to find out that you have a child out here, this is about to get messy.
Trees aren't green, the ocean is gray, sky is a vague blue, come my way. My room is a mess, it could use a hand. My favorite TV shows to capture in. I know I must get it right, must get back in the fight.
Okay, so Patrick, I don't know if I like him. Sometimes I'm like, I get it, okay, he's just being like a protective dad and husband. And then other times I'm like, he might be a little shady. So Tess has quickly realized how much her life is going to shift and change if she wants to get custody of Rose. So right now she works a lot of hours. She doesn't really have a big support system. And so, you know, if she wants to, like I said, get some time with Rose, her biological daughter, she's going to have to make some changes at work and in her personal life. And so while she's doing that, they actually come and they have their first, like, maybe it's like a mediation. Tess really couldn't afford a lawyer, so she came to like the mediation without one, which was like a really bad idea because Catherine and Patrick are like coming for her. They're like, baby, we'll just let our daughter know you when she's 18. We'll just let her decide if she wants to know you or not. And I was not expecting that. I get it from Catherine's POV. This is her daughter. It's like, no, I'm gonna fight for what is mine. But her and Tess, they're like acquaintance. They were just at a kid's birthday party or something like that together. I just didn't expect her to be as cold as she is, but it was more so Patrick than Catherine, but it was low-key like both of them. This is just really intense. And Tess is like, yeah, no, this proposition that you guys are giving me is not gonna work for me, so it looks like I'm gonna need to lawyer up.
Uncomplicated touch, stable as we go, consistent as we grow. I won't slow.
Justice is home today. She was sent home sick, and so it's been a very stressful day. Poor baby, poor mom. And so it's just so crazy to be reading a motherhood book while having like a rough motherhood day. But listen, Tess, the audacity is at an all-time high. She had the nerve to show up at a place where Catherine and Rose is. She like, listen, one way or another, I'm gonna see my baby. Oh my God. Let me gather myself, okay? First of all, it is a book that is going to pull on the heartstrings. I did just make it to like a little over 200 pages, and it has gotten really, really good. So I knew that I did not like Patrick, okay? Let's just say that. Now with Tess, we get to take a look at her and her journey after loss. And so we get to move through the story and learn how she numbs and how she escapes. And it's so sad to just learn different things that she's doing to cope. And it's just so sad to learn some of her backstory. And then you have Catherine, right? Catherine and her husband, they're in a position where they have more money. They're obviously going to court. And so it's Catherine and Patrick's job to make sure that they look like the fit parent and make sure that Tess does not look like the better fit. They don't want to share custody. They're okay with the visitation, but their main goal is just for Tess to not be able to see Rose until she's 18 and she can decide for herself if she wants a relationship with her biological mother or not. And so in doing that, Catherine has hired a private investigator, and the private investigator finds out some really dark, deep stuff, okay? And it's just so sad. We are exploring so much here about women and women's rights and how people victimize women, and how you have to make impossible choices sometimes to get what you want. But then also we get to see integrity. We get to see integrity. I am loving this story. I am eating it up. And I really wish that like more people were talking about it because it's actually really, really good. Oh my God, we finished finished Hold My Girl, and this was so beautiful. So I thought that this was a solid 5-star read until the very end. I do feel like it got just a little bit repetitive, and I feel like we could have wrapped it up just a little bit sooner, just a little bit. So I did end up giving it like a 4.5. This is like very much my reading taste. It's exactly what I want when I go to pick up a book. It pulls on the heartstrings. It makes you think. It's a story about integrity and motherhood, betrayal, and finding yourself and being honest with yourself and healing relationships. And it's about discovery of secrets. It's about so much. It's about so much, you guys. The only other thing that I had to bump it down just a little bit for was the ending. So I did want a different ending. However, I respect the ending that we got. I understand the ending that we got. It is also a book that highlights the opportunity for second chances. As we know, both women were unable to have children, naturally, so they had to do it by way of IVF. So that's a second chance. That's another option for them to be a mother. There's moments throughout the story where you see second chances. I don't usually need to check trigger warnings, but if you are the type of person that needs to check trigger warnings, I would say check trigger warnings for this one. But yeah, it took a turn that I wasn't expecting, and it was just even beautiful to go down that road and see how certain lifestyle choices and decisions that we make can affect our lives in big, drastic ways. This book was really good. I don't know why it is not hyped up more. I think it's because, like I said, it did have a bit of a repetitive nature at times, but we get so much inner monologue that you truly understand how both mothers feel. You understand and you hurt for Tess so badly because she has always wanted to be a mother. She lost her husband to some woman, could have kids, and it's just been a lot for her, her life. It has not turned out how she wanted it to turn out. Just being in her POV, I felt so sad, but I also just thought that it was so insightful. And then Catherine, my heart, it ached for Catherine, especially because she's a Black woman, and I felt like they were trying to bring up her race because the child is obviously white, because if she's biologically Tess's and Patrick's, then Rose is technically, she's white. I just thought it was so good. I loved Catherine. My heart hurt for Catherine. I felt like she was in such an impossible situation. I don't care what science says. This is my child. I carry this child. I birthed this child. I have been raising this child. She is mine, okay? It does not matter if it wasn't my egg. I love this girl, and I am going to fight for her. So we do get to see both moms fighting equally, and I was just oh my God. I wish the book had an epilogue, but it's okay. We kind of can just fill in the pieces. We know what happened. And like I said, it was still a very redemptive, beautiful ending. I just wanted something just a little bit different, just a little bit. But overall, I really love this book. I will never forget this book. This book will always be here in my heart. I think it was just such a beautiful read and a beautiful journey to go on with these two women. I can just feel all the love and all the heart and all the emotion that went into this. I thought it was really good. But at the end of the day, we have knocked out 2 books off the physical TBR, which I absolutely love. I do have a couple fun ways that I want to approach these videos, but for now I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and tackle the first 2 books. And I'm so glad that these were both bangers. So thank you so much for watching. Do not sleep on the books on your TBR. You might have a banger on there. What is her dream again? And yes, this book has been on my TBR for over a year. And then there was this other part that kind of bothered me about Patrick. When I think of you, I got that last summer. He's like, oh yeah, I had to, tell the lawyer that you were Black. But why? Why does her race have anything to do with her being competent to be a mom? It's kind of scary to have a love so deep like this. She says, read The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. I DNF'd that book. I DNF'd it real bad. Imagine if you ever had to live in the world without them. Should I pick it back up? Oh, I don't want to say that. That would actually give it away. Probably not. Seems like a healthy household with great examples. We love to see it. I forgot about that. There was even a podcast. Oh, look on my tongue. Look, realistically for me, it's like a 5-star.